Good day, Professor. Good day, class. My name is Jonathan Gillespie. The following presentation is 5 significant events surrounding the American Revolution. The American Revolution did not simply come about. Early colonists migrated in search of new freedoms at great cost. Aside from the treacherous travel of arriving to the new land, they were only met with severe weather they faced, harsh living conditions as they had to build up from nothing, dealing with already natives of the land, and new diseases that were unknown, all while abiding to the king from afar. One must appreciate the struggles the colonists endured, which justifies what was to come. So what exactly shaped this course and contributed to the raging of the American Revolutionary War? This slideshow will highlight 5 events that played much significance in this. Thus, there are 5 historical key events that contributed and were the sum of the American Revolutionary War. This slideshow will be going over the following key events. Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death, which was a speech made by Patrick Henry to the Second Virginia Convention in March of 1775. First Blow for Liberty, often noted as the shots heard round the world, this event will cover the battle at Lexington. The signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, which announced that the colonies were officially no longer part of or under British rule. The signing of the Treaty of Alliance with France changed the tide in favor of the Patriots, as it provided them with more means to wage war. And finally, the Siege of Yorktown, which resulted in the surrender of Cornwallis in October of 1781. Give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry was a true patriot who protested British tyranny and was a symbol of American struggle for liberty. He served in the Virginia House of Burgesses and the Continental Congress and was also governor of Virginia. He is most famous for his speech delivered to the Second Virginia Convention on March 23, 1775 at St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia. Most notable was the ending phrase, "Give me liberty or give me death." He is also credited with having swung the balance in convincing the convention to pass a resolution delivering Virginia troops from the Revolutionary War. He supported freedom of religion and has also played a key role in the resolutions to the Stamp Act. Patrick Henry played a valuable role leading to the American Revolution and truly was befitting of the term Founding Father. Let's take a moment and listen to a clip of a reenactment of his great address.
They tell us, sir, we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemy shall have bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak if we make a proper use of that means which a gracious God hath placed in our power. 3 millions of people, armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations, and who will raise up friends to fight our battles for us. The battle, sir, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear? Or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death.
As we can see, Patrick Henry was an amazing person, and he is definitely one of the most significant events of the Revolutionary War. Next was the Battle of Lexington. The battles of Lexington occurred on April 19, 1775, and by many historians claimed to be the final push to cause the American Revolutionary War. From years of oppression by the king and Parliament, the colonists' anger only grew. On the night of April 18, 1775, hundreds of British troops marched from Boston to nearby Concord in order to seize an arms cache. A colonial militia prepared to meet and fight the incoming British troops if need be. A confrontation on the Lexington town green started the battle, with the British retreating under intense fire. Most historians conclude the British fired first, but deep research does show arguable scholarly documents that possibly the colonists fired first. Regardless, this has come to be known as a shot heard round the world, made famous by poet Ralph Waldo Emerson. Per ushistory.org, 73 British soldiers had been killed and 174 wounded. 26 were missing. This battle marked the beginning of the American Revolution. The Declaration of Independence. Though the war had already begun between the colonies and Britain, one of the most political precedent events was the passing of the Declaration of Independence. Though it was clear the colonies were waging war to remove themselves from the rule of the king, this document stood as officially notifying the king that the colonies were now independent sovereign states no longer under British rule. The Declaration is often discussed in 5 parts: Introduction, Preamble, the Indictment of King George III, Denunciation of the British people, and Conclusion. Though it is up to opinion, the Preamble and Indictment serve great purpose. Preamble giving light to the colonists' view of a proper government, and the Indictment which basically noted the flaws of the king, giving reason why they were denouncing his rule. Though it was only a paper with signatures, its political power was stronger than any weapon, and much of the world was inspired by it as it circulated the globe.
The Second Continental Congress, meeting in the city of Philadelphia, is now in session. 7th June, 1776, the Honorable John Hancock of Massachusetts presiding.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. The chair now invites you to begin debate on the resolution of American independence.
Wow! Independence for America! This is America. We're going to be independent.
Gentlemen,
remember the Alamo. Come on. You're supposed to ask me why I want independence.
Oh, why independence, Mr. Adams?
For the obvious reason that our continued association with Great Britain has grown intolerable. You're right.
Yes. Mr. Adams, Great Britain is intolerable? To whom, Mr. Adams? Why, personally, I have no objections at all to being part of the greatest empire on earth and sharing its benefits.
What benefits? What benefits? Crippling taxes? Cruel repression? Abolish rights? Kermit, this stuff is not funny.
Isn't that all England means to you, sir? Well,
the next significant event was the Treaty of Alliance. During the Revolutionary War, Multiple treaties were signed for a multitude of reasons. A strategic one was the Treaty of Alliance. Without a doubt, this treaty was influential, as not only did it create an alliance who could assist with supplies, fighters, and ships, but it gave backing and proof to the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration stated that the states would have the power to make alliances with foreign nations, and by doing so, it sent a clear and concise message that the Declaration simply wasn't a show. France was a prime candidate to align with, as they also were longtime enemies of the British, but also they were colonial rivals in the Americas. The treaty consisted of 12 articles outlining terms, conditions, invitations, land claims, and to what set the treaty into effect. The last key event is the surrender of Cornwallis and the Siege of Yorktown. The Siege of Yorktown was a combined assault of the Continental Army and French Army against the British troops. Initial movements began in September 1781. Through immense tactical planning, the Allies bombarded and weakened the British defense. Within days, the British positions weakened and victory was found. This was the last major campaign of the Revolutionary War. Per AOC.gov, the following is a description of the photo. In the center of the scene, American General Benjamin Lincoln appears mounted on a white horse. He extends his right hand toward the sword carried by the surrendering British officer, who heads the long line of troops that extends into the background. To the left, French officers appear standing and mounted beneath the white banner of the Royal Bourbon family. On the right are American officers beneath the Stars and Stripes. Among them are the Marquis de Lafayette and Colonel Jonathan Trumbull, the brother of the painter. In conclusion, the American Revolutionary War was and should be held as one of the most significant wars ever waged. Like many wars to come, this war was the earmark of standing against tyranny, oppression, and rights for freedom. The United States became united because of this war and undoubtedly changed history forever. The colonists were truly motivated in their cause and clearly underestimated by the British. Each event covered in this presentation played a vital role leading up to the ending of the war, whether it was through breeding motivation and morale or gaining the edge through politics and alliances. Like any conflict, setbacks and downfalls did happen. Historians believe more than 8,000 colonists died from battle, 17,000 from disease during the war, and 25,000 to be wounded or maimed. But still, they did not falter and remained steady at course for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.